The new mid laner Akshan has been out for a week now, and I think we can all agree the champion is somewhat underwhelming. The release has not been too hyped and not received well in solo queue itself. Whenever I try and pick this champion, everyone's telling me, please man, please don't pick it, I want to win my LP. But of course, Riot Games, they said he has a lot of new mechanics in the game, specifically the revive in the W, the resurrection. So they released the champion week, and over the course of this last week, they've already done 2 hot fix buffs, and the champion's win rate is slowly creeping up. And I'm telling you guys, we are sleeping on the champion. I've got around about 20 games or so, and I'm slowly starting to work out how to play this champion. And he is not as weak as most people think. Trust me, the build path is mainly what people are getting wrong. But today's review, guys, I'll be talking about the champion and assessing FAKER's first ever game on the champ. This guy, I mean, of course, we know FAKER. He's been in the game for so long now. He learns these new champions and picks them up so fast. And it's going to be very interesting to see what he does, what his intuition tells him to do on this champion. So without further ado, let's jump straight onto Summoner's Rift and start breaking down his first game. Coming onto the Rift, the matchup today is into a Lucian mid, which is actually perfect because I definitely think Lucian mid is the straight up competition to this champion Akshan. Riot Games wants an AD marksman in the mid lane. Well, essentially Lucian is just doing a better job, especially when it comes to the win rate department. So it'll be interesting to see how this matchup plays out. For the rune page, I definitely agree this press the attack setup is optimal. The one thing that I think FAKER has messed up on here is going overheal rather than going for presence of mind. The champion's pretty mana hungry and you don't go any mana items. I don't think that the Essence Reaver is very good on him. So I'm going to be interested to see how he can deal with the mana cost in the mid to late game without this presence of mind for the reset. Secondaries, he's gone Biscuit. And of course, that's going to help him sustain out a little bit of this lane. Exhaust into Lucian makes a lot of sense. And should usually be a Q start for this champion. The Q, essentially, it is like a Sivir Boomerang Blade, but the range is extended through minions or champions. So you got to think of things like a Seraphine ult. If you land it, it's going to extend its range. It can be ridiculous if you line it up in a minion wave, and it can just cut across half the map. It's very long range. But if it doesn't connect with anything, super short range. Secondary, guys, you're looking for the passive. You'll see when he lands a Q, you see on the minions there, it's kind of like, think about it, kind of like an echo passive where every third shot, attack or ability, I believe, you're getting a shield. So you want to try and proc that. If you can land the Q, double proc, and then into the auto, into like an auto, into an E, you're proccing the shield, and you're probably going to end up winning the trade. One small mechanic you need to think about as Lucian goes for the all-in. We have exhaust, we have the E. We E onto the wall there. It does get cancelled out a little bit too early there. And Lucian instantly flash for flash, and he almost drops. That 1v1 was very close. Luckily, he had the exhaust. Otherwise, it was doomed. And I reckon there was slight kill pressure there. I think he slightly misplayed there. The one interesting mechanics that Akshan has, guys, is a double auto. So you essentially have Lucian's passive, but it's every single auto no matter what, as Lee Sin comes through. And we're able to get the assist on that. And this is fake Chovy, by the way. It's not real Chovy. This guy's an impersonator, those that are wondering. And look at the auto attacks. See how the 2 auto attacks come out? And that's why I've been going on hit. I've been going on hit with Rage Blade. Things like Blade of the Ruin King into Kraken, Wit's End, Rage Blade. Like the on hit build, I think, is the most underrated build people are sleeping on. And as the patch and everyone starts to learn the champion, I think people will start to identify that is the best build, the highest damage output build. I've seen a couple of different builds getting about, and I definitely think attack speed this champion needs. The lethality Eclipse setup is not good. It's overrated. People are rushing this lethality. The champion needs some attack speed. You can see he E's out of base, puts 2 points into Q. Qmax is for sure what you go now. I was going Emax until the second hotfix buff. So the Q, the boomerang, doesn't do 100% damage to minions, okay? But on the hotfix, they ended up making at max rank 90%, which means at level 9, you can one-shot the backline creeps, which means you have very good wave clear on this champion, very underrated. But beforehand, you couldn't one-shot, so it's super awkward. So I think that hotfix is going to improve the champion's, like the feel of the champion, the satisfaction, tenfold. It's so much better. I was trying to run like minion demon and doing all these weird things. Obviously, Riot didn't quite calculate how the champion would get played out. But now that the hotfix comes through, this champion, I mean, I think I genuinely do think it's underrated. It's a late game monster, specifically because of the resurrection factor. When death times start getting up to like 30 to 40 seconds, you will change the game with your revives, with your resurrection. It is ridiculous what you can get done on this champ. People need to stop playing it, I think, as like an early game Lucian. You really do scale up on here and late game. Like it's very strong, guys. And the win rate per game time indicates that as well. His win rate late game is actually creeping up close to 50%. I think it's still like 47, but still closer than bloody 30, what he was in release. Moving down, put the ward into the river here. Now the W, it's a stealth. You got to think about, like, it's similar to Talia passive, where near terrain you'll stay like on your rock, but for action you'll stay stealth if you're near terrain. Okay, so you can be like just permanently stealth, hiding out. But as soon as you move away from it, you're going to be revealed. So it's kind of like Twitch invisibility meets Talia passive. Okay, the wall ride. Dropping down on CS. He went double Dorans here. Trying to get as beefy as possible just to make sure he can survive this early game. Now, the one thing I really don't like about the champ is the ultimate. It's super awkward, and the bad thing, it gets blocked by attackable things. So like towers, minions, Nexus, everything blocks it. Now, the ultimate will do damage to towers and the Nexus and whatnot, but it's not very much. It's not a Caitlyn ult. It has a massive execute damage amp. So for people just starting off a fight with it, it's not going to do any damage. People will laugh and say, it does nothing, but you need to allow the enemy to get very low, then start channeling it. As FAKER channels it up, and you'll see here, oh, he actually gets it straight through, and he picks up the kill there. Don't know why that E was not planned, and Lee Sin picks it up. I mean, fair dinkum, let's get the kill into the Lucian. I think it was played a little bit awkward, but the Lucian, why did the Lucian not stand behind the Diana? I don't know. People still working out what the hell is going on with this champ. And there is some high level actions getting good win rates, guys. Like I'm talking 60% win rate on the champion when they start learning what to do. It's a very high skill champion. You need to know how to use your E's on all the terrain, what angles to take, how to use the stealth. There's a lot that goes into it, you know. It's not a simple champ like Annie or Malzahar. So it's going to take a lot of games for people to really start getting decent win rates. Spin out of base. And he's put 2 points into Q, and now he's maxing E, interestingly. Let's see how that goes. And he's going for the Noon Quiver. It's going to be either Shieldbow, Gale Force, or the Kraken. Of course, because you have double autos, the Kraken, guys, you're getting the passive so much more often. That's why most Akshan mains are going for that. There's a couple that have been going Shieldbow and Gale Force situationally, but it's definitely the attack speed and not the lethality coming from the Eclipse. Some people thought the Eclipse would work well because of the passive proc and the shielding, but the win rate indicates otherwise. And when you cancel your second auto, so this is like such an advanced mechanic. As he goes for the all-in here, he just completely styles on the Lucian. He pops the exhaust. And you should be able to see him just grab this kill up. Look at that solo kill on the Lucian mid there. Pretty easy with the exhaust. I actually think that summon is good. Because you can just E in, pop the exhaust, and they can't do anything about it. Now, this champion, guys, when you cancel your auto, going to be dead here, insta flashes. Oh, the beautiful kick by Lee Sin. Dude, nice going, great game. The autos, when you cancel them, guys, the second, you're going to get movement speed, okay? So you can kite on this champion. But you need to know how to auto attack, cancel, and you got to get rid of the animation. Like there's a lot of advanced things going into this champ that people don't really know how to abuse. As we're 69 CS at almost 9 minutes, which is pretty nice. We'll go back now. See what we grab. It's the pickaxe. And we'll swing back into the mid lane. I wonder what boots he's going for. I mean, I think Ninja Tabo will work very well into Lucian, Aphelios. But let's see what we go. Now the E, by the way, is a reset. So Every single time you get a kill or assist, your E resets. So you can just be permanently swinging like Tarzan through a fight. So you need to be ready. You need to be ready for that in the fight because your E does a lot of damage. Especially because Fake has actually maxed it here. As I want to see, I want to see that this Q on the backline, if it's one-shotting or not. No. Do you see how it's not one-shotting those backlines? And that's why I think Q-Max after the hotfix is actually the go. And E-Max is a little bit outdated on the pre-patch. As he tries to pick up Lucian, you see him get the shielding. Wait for the E. He pops the E straight into Lucian. Lucian pops the ultimate. He puts the ultimate on. Faker does, and he gets the 1-for-1. I don't know, man. I feel like charging your ult there actually hinders your damage. It takes too long for a minimal amount of bullets. But he ends up dropping, I don't know. Oh, 0-3 Lucian gets the 1v1. Like, come on. I think it could have been played a little bit better. I'm not sure why Tahm Kench has been allowed through draft. This champion's completely overtuned. Should be removed from the game. Meow. Not getting the max range on this Ease. Come on, man. And people ask me, where do I think this guy is doing best? I actually think he's best top lane, I won't lie. I think he's a better top laner than mid laner at the moment. Bot lane, his range is too short, but it's still possible. I'm not sure about mid lane. It really depends on the matchups. Long range matchups feel unplayable to me. It's very hard to gap close, and your range on Qs are too short to really get anything done. As he uses his W for the first time here. He E's in, dashes off. Gets a nice little kill onto the Aphelios. Cheers, mate. Ult up in 10 seconds. Has exhaust. Let's see how he moves in. E. And it's going to be a big one. He comes in looking for the Braum. Q can go through these minions here. Looking for it. Has ultimate now. He charges the ultimate. And he instantly pulls it, which is a bad decision there. Wait for the swing, and he gets the double kill. Another swing there for the reset. And you can just see the strength of this champion as he does drop down to the Aphelios, gives the bounty over. So you can tell this is his first game, but like, you can see the potential this champion has. People are really sleeping on it, trust me. And I still think that he is potentially, doesn't have the best rune setup. There's a couple of different changes in mechanics that he can get. He gets the Gale Force as well. I think the Kraken win rate is going to be a little bit better. But I definitely think that even whilst this champion's win rate is terrible at the moment, guys, we have a long way to go, and Riot Games probably jumped to the gun with these hotfix changes. And people, as always, like, it happen. How many times does it need to happen where a champion gets released, has a bad win rate on first day, and people go, trash champ, terrible, I don't see how it fits in the game, horrendous. Just give it time, man. Give it time to just breathe, people to learn how to play it, build it. Most of these champions will come out clutch as he cancels the invisibility. He has exhaust now. Lucian pops the ult. He's going to try and kite it out. The E cooldown is ridiculously hard. Let's see. Pops the exhaust. Just kiting. And Lee Sin is playing very well. Really nice game by him. And see that Q on the backlines there? It's just not quite doing it for me. When it's max rank, the wave clear is so good. You can get 9-10 CS per minute very easily. I think Q cost is like 70 or 80, by the way, so it is mana. It is very mana intensive. That's why that presence of mind helps for those resets in the fight to keep letting your E keep going. Spin. And it's a fun champ to play. Super nice design. It feels a little bit clunky. The R specifically, I really don't like. It feels super clunky. But other than that, I think the champion's pretty clean once you start learning how to get your auto cancels off and how to position your E on these terrains. It's the stealth. Now he's going for the all-in. And you can see that shield just negates so much of Lucian's damage. Do we have Gale Force? Yep. Grabs that off for himself. Nice little solo kill. Obviously, the Lucian went behind. I mean, most champions, when you've got 6 kills, you're going to shred through a Lucian, but you can see he hits the stealth, he waits for Lucian to miss position, and then just spins in. It's pretty simple. But be careful if you're not ahead, because you'll just look a fool and get exploded. Trust me, I've done it. Keep the stealth. Zooming in here. Looking to try and pick up the Tom. Hits the ultimate. Pew, pew, pew. Gets the assist. And welcome back into the game, Gwen. First resurrect. See, it's not very good in the early game. Like, that doesn't really mean anything. It's in the mid to late game that this champion's W becomes completely oppressive diverse. Having another man on the map for an extra 30 or 40 seconds is hard to put a real, like, value on it. But obviously, at the higher levels, it means a lot more, I think. Because the players are more valuable, obviously. No offense to people that are in lower elos, but it's the truth. Like, resing like a jungler or something in the mid to late game fight before objectives and stuff. Like, just think about the value on that. As we move back in, this Lucian is really just running at this stage. Faker picks up his 8th kill. Phew. So sick, man. Oh, God. Looking for the tower. Next item, let's see what he goes. I think on-hit items like Wit's End, and Blade the Ruined King with a Rage Blade, I think is where it's at. A lot of people are going Infinity Edge. I think IE is overrated. But once again, this is my opinion. Who the hell knows? I can be extremely wrong. I've been wrong a million times. I'm just telling you guys what I'm finding to be strong. I've put a little bit more research than most, I would say, and more games than, 99% of people at this point. Trying to figure out what to go. I've seen some Collector's Second. I think Collector's Second's an overrated item, but looking to get some lethality, gets the Lucidity boots, okay. Want some extra cooldown reduction. And I'm wondering if he's going to go like a Serpent's. Let's just see what he builds, I guess. Lethality second. Enemy team. I mean, are they opening up? Tahm Kench. Can we go hunt Tahm Kench? Let's go. No Kraken into a Tahm. Let's, I think he actually loses this 1v1. Let's see what happens. Oh wait, never mind. Let's look at the health bar. Welcome to the game. Wait, where's Gwen's respawn? There we go. Remember, you get extra movement speed, I think, and extra mana regen when you walk towards a... What are they called? Are they called bandits? When the person that's killed your teammate, your friend. When you go towards them, I believe you start getting extra movement speed and mana regen, which definitely helps the champion out. Right, obviously knew the mana costs were a little bit high. His base MS for me is really low. I think their next buff could be maybe like a 5 MS buff to his base movement speed. I think that'd help the champion out a lot. I think Riot specifically put it really low because they didn't want him to be like a Talon or something that just permanently roams around the map with the stealth. I think they definitely sided with caution on release of this champion. They identified what could be completely broken and just made sure it's not going to happen. Because I think he has 330 base MS, which is pretty goddamn low for a champion like this. I thought it'd be a little bit higher. Swing into the lantern? Ah, that would look sick. But all Psalms got an ultimate. Obviously, we've got like an 8k gold lead, but I want to see some nice late game team fights. Hopefully we get them. Alright, we've maxed our Q now, so the wave clear should be really nice. Yep. And it only takes 5 to 10 games to start feeling comfortable with the double autos in this champion. Fresh hook lands. Let's see if we can get a good spin. Spins in. Oh my god, he's going to get CC'd all the way by Braum here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to live. And he drops there, you can see. Take note, guys, to the lower elo players. Like, just be cautious of how you play. You're not tanky at all, man. You are squishy as hell. So if you E into a bad position, you're gonna get blown up. Sometimes just siding with using it as an escape rather than engage is a pretty good a way to think about the ability, I reckon. And I believe this champion is not going to be allowed in playoffs for any region. I know the LEC voted on it not being allowed, and my guess is most of the other regions and teams are not going to allow the champion into playoffs towards Worlds, just because they don't want to try and have to deal with working out what the fuck is going on with this champion and start having to scrim with it and all this type of stuff. It'd be a bit of a headache for some teams to work it out, which I think it's bad, man. I want to see new champions in pro play. It gets stale. You already know Caps would play it. Who else? Probably like Insanity or someone in the LCS. I'd love to see it. Popping in the side lane. Second item, guys. It's the Collector, okay? Let's see if he can collect this Lucian. Where's his E onto? He E's onto the wall and gets the kill over onto the Lucian there. There's been a lot of people have been really looking at building the Collector second. I see the new Aphelios build is Collector second as well. More of a, mathematically, it's a pretty bad item. I think a lot of people have looked at the numbers and kind of said, hey, like, this item is complete dog shit compared to other items, like if you want to go Lord Dom second. So mainly people think of it as like a feel-good item. The item does feel good. It interacts with the game. Like the finisher is a very nice move. Extra gold, sure. But at the end of the day, mathematically, it's not the greatest. So, little spiel for you. But, play what feels good. I still think the on-hit build is going to be better. Obviously, this is Faker's first game, so he's still working it out. And I doubt he's going to put many games on the champ. I really think he just picked it this game just to give like a 1 or 2 game test, and then he'll be back into his grind set ahead of Worlds. I don't see why he'd start picking this champion up if it's not being able to be played at playoffs. The next item should be either the Grudge or the Lord Doms. The Grudge, the slow is pretty nice on the Grudge, I won't lie. The lethality, and it probably worked better here. The Baron, hoping for the Siege. They should... This Jinx is absolutely massive. Let's just run it through. 220 farm at 21. And I think the best way to play this champion, guys, is you stealth behind the team, and your team engages, and then you are just cleaning up. Once everyone's around about half health, you want to start swinging in, getting those E resets, and just swing with some autos in between. Use your R as the finisher. Do not start with the R. You gotta think about it as like a Jhin ult or something. As we start looking to fight, and he's just kiting this out, playing it very slow. Hits the ultimate here. Pyong, pyong, pyong. Gets it. Swings. Has another reset? Not quite. Looking to try and pick up the Lucian here. Lucian blowing his whole ult. Bad Gale Force by Faker. He's gonna check. No vision though, you saw there. You need vision to get those autos. Q. The range is terrible if you don't get the Thresh, please. Please. Swings in there. There we go, baby. 12 and 3. Honestly, overall, not the best of games, but I think it's a good starting game for us to all start learning about this new champion. I think the design is better than most people are giving it credit for, and I think it's stronger than most people realize. But until next time, guys, hopefully we get some more info and more games on this champion. But I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I catch us on the next one. Peace.